Oh, hello, great readers. I'm Belchan.
I'm Nimakung.
I'm Banchan.
In this class, I'll read to all of you a part of Ulysses.
Ass.
Ah.
Ulysses. James Joyce. Chap. 166. Preceding them. He walked fan. Ferns or grasses. Then. Thor. How dare you? Thor. Hain zest. Do you pairing for this tar? 12 gridged. Buck Mulligan said. To the Secretary of State for War. Stephen added over his shoulder. They halted while Haines surveyed the tar and said at last, rather bleak in winter time. I should say. What'll you call it? The Leapit had them built. Buck Mulligan said, when the French were on the sea. But ours is the Omphaloos. What is your idea of Hamlet? Haines asked Stephen. No. Buck Mulligan shouted in pain. Prop it up. Wait till I have a few pints of me first. He turned to Stephen. Then, as he pulled down neatly the peaks of his primrose waistcoat, you couldn't manage it under 3 pints. Ain't you? Could you? It has waited so long. Stephen said listlessly. It can wait longer. You pique my curiosity. Haines said amiably. Is it some paradox? Brew. Buck Mulligan said. We have growing out of wilder and paradoxes. It's quite simple. The ghost of his own father. What? Haines said, beginning to point at Stephen. He himself. Buck Mulligan slung his tall stole round his neck and, bending in loose laughter, said to Stephen's ear, well, should have kidged the elder. Jiffet in search of a father. We're always tied in the morning. Stephen said to Haines, and it is rather long to tell. Buck Mulligan, walking forward again, raised his hands. The sacred pint alone can unbind the ton of this. He said, I mean to say. Haines explained to Stephen as they followed. This tor and these cliffs they remind me somehow of Elsinore. That beetles owe his basin to the sea. Isn't it? Buck Mulligan turned suddenly for an instant towards Stephen but did not speak. They gay at ours. It's a wonderful tale. Haines said, bringing them to halt again. As hail as the sea the wind had freshened. Hello. Firm and prudent. The sea's ruler. He gazed southward over the bay. Sail ticking by the Muglins. I read a theological interpretation of it somewhere. He said bemused. The father and the son idea. The son striving to be attuned with the father. Buck Mulligan at once put on a blightboardly smiling face. He looked at them. His well-shaped mouth opened happily. His eyes, from which he had suddenly withdrawn all shrewd sense, blinking with mad gaiety. He moved a doll's head to and fro, the brims of his Panama hat quivering. and began to chant in a quiet, happy, foolish voice. In the question fellow that ever you heard. My mother's a Jew. My father's a bird. With Joseph the joiner I cannot agree. So here's to disciples in Calvary. He held up a finger of warning. That I make when the wine becomes water again. He took softly as Stephen's splint in farewell end, running forward to a brow of the cliff. In there, and chanted, Goodbye, Anne. Goodbye. Until Tom. Dick and Harry I rose from the dead. I know it's breezy. Goodbye, Anne. Goodbye. He capered before them down towards the foot of our hall, fluttering his wind-like hands, leaping nimbly. Cards. Ains, who had been laughing guardedly, walked on beside Stephen and said, We oughtn't to laugh. I suppose. He's rather blasphemous. I'm not a believer myself. That is to say. Still his Geety takes the harm out of it somehow. Doesn't it? What did he call it? Joseph the Joiner? The Ballad of Joking Jesus. Stephen and said, Well, Haynes said, You have heard it before? 3 times a day. After meals. Stephen said dryly, Are not a believer. Are you? Haynes asked, I mean, a believer in the narrow sense of the word. Creation from nothing and miracles in a personal God. There's only one sense of the word. It seems to me, Stephen said. Haynes stopped to take out a smooth silver case in which twinkled a greenstone. He sprang it open with his thumb and offered it. Thank you, Stephen said, taking a cigarette. Haynes helped himself and snapped the case stir. He put it back in his side pocket and took from his waistcoat pocket a nickel tinder box. Sprang it open too. And then, having lit his cigarette, held the flaming spunk towards Stephen in the shell of his hands. Yes, of course, he said, as they went on again. Either you believe or you don't. Isn't it? Personally, I can stomach that idea of a personal God. You don't stem for that. I suppose. You behold in me, Stephen said with grim displeasure, a horrible example of free thought. He walked on, waiting to be spoken to, trailing his esplant by his side. Its furrow followed lightly on the path, squealing at his heels. My familiar. After me. Calling. Stephen. A wavering line along the path. They will walk on it tonight. Coming here in the dark. He wants that key. It is mine. I paid the rent. Now I eat his salt bread. Give him the key too. All. He will ask for it. That was in his eyes. After all, Haynes began. Unkind. After all. To be continued.